Hello, everyone. Oh, let me adjust my camera really quick. Let me move back here. Okay. Whew. Do that. Okay. All right. Thank you. Um, Welcome back to the Pain Scale Talk. I'm your host, Pain, and today is a life tip about it, and I think I'll call it uh, if you don't want to settle down in life, that's fine. And settling down, I think the general meaning is usually, get married, uh, buy a house, have kids, um, have the same job for the next, pretty much for your whole life until you retire. Um, yeah, that doesn't sound something I don't want to do. I know. I guess I want to say like the logical side of me is wants to say some people don't have a choice. Um, but I think everybody in this life has a choice about everything. We're the controllers of our fate. Um, in reality. But yeah, it's like I thought this topic needed some commentary because it's like I don't think there's too much of it. So I wanted to do my own video on this topic, and yeah, to me, let me get my definition. Like, I don't want to settle down. Like, what I like, like a home base. Like, yeah, like somewhere nice in a forest somewhere with no little to no people. With a library in my house, like that would be fantastic. It's like that would be my ideal place of living. But when I say I don't want to settle down, it's like I don't want to do same things I'm doing for the next like for the really for the next like I'm 28 now for like pretty much the rest of my life. Um, yeah, I don't want to work at the same job for the rest of my life. It's um, and it's hard for me to work now due to my mental really for my because of my mental health issues. But it's I just if I do something for the rest of my life, because I feel like quite a bit of my life has been spent, especially with my toxic parents and stuff like that. So much of my life has been, dealing with their shit and dealing with their drama and stuff like that. I'm ready to do my own thing at this point. Um, it's like I want to if I do something, want to do something for the rest of my, I want it to be meaningful, or helping people, or something like doing something like I really enjoy, like writing or reading. Because yeah, it's like I think for myself, that's something I want for myself, but I think I deserve that for myself too. And there's nothing wrong with wanting better for yourself. There's nothing selfish about that. But yeah, sorry. I'm sorry if I injected too much of myself in that portion. But let me get it. If you don't want to settle down, that's fine in life. Because really, you don't have to. Because there's so much to this world than just a 9 to 5 job, or getting promoted at your job, or working at your job for the next 40, 50 years. It's um yeah, there's just so much more to life. Or I think one of the things that I could definitely say that definitely gives me a fright is thinking about living in the same place for, well, when I say like 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 staying in the place I don't want to stay in. Like, again, like if I could get a house in the middle of the forest with a library, I would live there forever. um but yeah, it's like I just don't want to live like in um I just don't want to live in the same place for the rest of my life. It's I want to do my own thing, and I guess I basically want to be like a nomad. I guess I want to say no. I want to just say that I want to say it like I want to be like a nomad. Like, I just want to go like wherever the wind takes me. I want My friends are free spirits. It's like couple. Well, my couple, good friends is where like maybe I can count them on five fingers. Yeah, my good friends. Which there's nothing wrong with that. With it's quality over quantity. Don't have people in your life just because. Um, but yeah, it's like I would still like to have my close friends in my life. I know it's like if I am a nomad, so to say. I know that sounds really old school, but if I do go around from place to place, and I won't be always be able to see them. But it's like it's like I could still message them or chat them or come and visit them or something. Um, but yeah, you can still have your friends. Um, but yeah, if I know some people um uh I don't well actually I don't know if this is like 100% accurate statement, but personally I would say some people want to settle down because it's like their other friends have settled down, they want to settle down there so they could still have friends. um and that's not something I would be willing to do like at all. Yeah, I just would want to move on for my life. It's and again, it's like, yeah, I don't want to have kids. Not in this fucked up world. Not in this world. Um, there's just yeah, there's so many fucked up people in this world. So many fucked up situations going on in this world, and it's the thought of bringing a kid into this world. And when I think about the shit that I went through as a kid, not saying that they would go through the same shit, but it's like I wouldn't even want to chance that, because it's like people are fucking horrible. And as I made videos before my last video, if I'm not mistaken, that was people get worse as you get older. Um, yeah, I wouldn't want to bring another human being in this world to experience that. And I guess this is more existential thinking, but it already pains me to think, like losing like the people that I actually give a fuck about, in this world. I guess that hurts me the most. Like the few, like again, like on one hand, like the people I really give what a fuck about, like like my close friends, the few that I do have, and like maybe the couple, maybe maybe this many, like five, six, seven, eight, yeah, like eight people. Like it's like, um, yeah, that's just I don't know. It's like it's to think about losing those people like that's it. It fucks me up sometimes. It really does. And I know some people say, oh well, doesn't it hurt? Like yes, but some to some people more than others it affects. Like that really affects me. Um, so yeah, it's like I couldn't bring a child into this world to deal with other people's bullshit, and I could not bring a child into this knowing one day they would have to deal with the pain of loss one day. Yeah, that's a horrific fucking thought to me. Um, but yeah, let me go ahead and continue from here. Also, it's okay if you don't want to settle down because it's like um you just want to you want to do different things in your life, which that's fine. Or you want to some people like I want to leave. um I live in the United States. I think I would want to move from the United States because here it's very political here. Like the mindset here, that has been you know um, given from generation to generation, even in this generation, even though, a lot of people's ears say Gen Z's fucked up, it's a lot of like hyper religious people that just believe in like, these bullshit ass politics and stuff like that. And it's like, it's like, besides, again, the close, friends, the few close friends that I have here, few close family members that I do have here, um, those are people I have, stuff really in common with, and they don't like, they don't like that bullshit. But it's like a majority of society, I find myself living with, and it's like I just don't want that. It's like I want to move somewhere where, um, or go somewhere where it's like it's more introverted or, um, quieter, or it's like people aren't, like right out assholes for whatever reason, entitled assholes. I know that's hard to do when it comes to um, human beings in general, but there has to be a place out there where it's like it's more introverted and people um, aren't such assholes. But yeah, it's hard to think. But yeah, it's Oh, I know what I'm saying a lot. I know it's like my thoughts are getting jumbled with this topic, but I just don't want to settle down. Where I am now, and it's like I know you need like money to move and stuff like that. Uh, maybe one day, I'll make enough, to finally get up. But if you just want to get up and leave, your hometown, or you're ready to leave wherever you live to go somewhere else, there's nothing fucking wrong with that. Not at all. Some people will guilt trip you. I guess you could say, like, like, so I think I've heard of situations before where parents say like, oh, why don't you live close? Which there's nothing wrong with living with your parents or family members. I I live with my family member right now because it's like I can't I can't, it's like, and I'm not saying this because I don't, I live with my aunt. I love my aunt. My aunt is literally like top five, one of the best fucking people I think I've ever met in my life. One of the most intelligent people I've met in my fucking life. Um, but yeah, it's like I stay with my aunt because it's like I just, I can't afford things. It's hard for me to. I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier. Um, I know, but with this, usually with like a video, like I'll do like one run through, but it's like for this one I did multiple because it's like I couldn't really nail down what I wanted to talk about in the previous video. So, but now I finally have. But yeah, it's like I love, I really like living with my aunt, or like, if you have like friends that you, um, want to have like a roommate with, there's nothing wrong with that either. That's fine, but eventually, if I can, strike it out on my own and, um, completely, leave the United States behind, or I can get my house in the forest, my house slash library in the forest. Yeah, I would love to, but for now, um, I'm just trying to figure it out right now. There's nothing wrong with figuring it out. I'm 28, mental health issues. I'm just trying, I'm trying a lot of different things. Like I'm trying writing. Um, tried a bit with voice acting. I know I've mentioned past couple days. I was like, I wonder, like, what if I started to try to paint or something? Not because I like just trying to do it. I just think like, oh, maybe I could maybe paint something, that really means something. So if you're 28, that's fine. But yeah, it's um yeah, this in this life, I definitely say that there's if you there's nothing wrong with not wanting to settle, or I hope I worded that right. Sorry. If you don't want to settle, that's fine. If you don't want to settle down, that's also fine. Um, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with wanting to find your place in this world. There really isn't. So keep going strong. And again, if you don't want to settle down, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Some people might say some things, slight things, to you. I guess because it's settling down is like a societal norm. Um, some people might make fun of you because of not thinking like them, or might make fun like, oh, you don't have the finances to do that kind of shit. You know, it's like, oh, you know, it's, you know, people will do that, but you know, yeah, if you want to keep going in life, because you know that's definitely something I want to do. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, you know, keep going. You know, keep trying. You know, keep, you know, what if you trying to find your place in this world? Absolutely. You know, keep looking, because I'm still looking too. So just keep going. That's the message I think I would leave off on this video. Is just keep going. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end right there. If you are watching this, thank you very much for tuning in to the pain scale again, and you have a good one. Thank you very good. Thank you very much again.